Okay, this is lesson 23. I'll go back to the steps in a moment. This is graphing inequalities on a number line. We're just going to take numbers and we're going to graph them on a number line. So the number line is the most basic representation of any number, okay? And we graph them. And an inequality means it's less than or more than. So like if I were to say all your ages are less than my age, I'm 32, which means all your ages, can you possibly be 31?
Yes.
30? 14? Yeah. Can you be 35? No, because you're less than, right? Could you be 32? I just said you're less than my age. Can you be 32 possibly?
Yes. Yeah.
If you're less than if you're less than 32, no, what did I say? Listen carefully though. You are all less than my age. My age is 32. Is it possible that you are 32? Did I say less than or equal to? Did I say less than or equal to? No. I said less than, right? So can you possibly be 32 also? Nope. Does that make sense? What if I said your age is less than or equal to 32? Is it possible that you're 32?
Yeah.
Yes, correct. Okay. So, we're talking about inequalities. We use inequalities in logic, okay? So, we're like, okay. Someone's like, so, how much money you got? Oh, I don't know. I got some money. So that in your brain you're thinking, they must have at least or more than $0, right? If they say that, right? Could they have 1 penny though? Yeah, they said some money. They could have a penny, right? All right. And then they're like, and I've been saving money, and I don't have more than $1,000. And you're like, okay, so they have less than 1,000, but more than a penny, or more than $0. Okay, so it could be anywhere there. They could be like, oh, I got $1, right? Yeah, I got less than 1,000. I have $1. Is it possible? Yeah. So that's kind of like logic, okay? So we use logic in math. We use inequalities. Here are the steps, again, if you haven't. All right, sounds like we're ready. So watch me do numbers 1 and 2. Numbers 1 and 2, super easy. There's no real calculating. We're just doing, our basic skill today is how do we graph inequality lines, okay? That's the objective. You're going to graph inequality lines. So watch carefully. First thing we're going to do is look at the letter. K is greater than or equal to -1. So K is first, which is great because the inequality is all together. So since K is first, we know it's in the right order. I don't have to switch anything. So I'm going to go to -1 on my graph, and I'm going to just draw a circle. So I go to -1, draw a circle, okay? I don't know if I'm going to fill it in yet. That's another step. Since it says greater than or equal to, I'm going to point it to the right, okay? Because greater than goes to the right. And since it's equal to, I also fill it in, okay? I only fill it in if it says equal to. So this one says equal to. And that's it, okay? That's number 1. See how easy that was? Okay?
So if there's a line under the thing, you fill it in, and if there isn't, then you don't.
Exactly, yeah. Okay? Again, number 1, for those of you who don't get it, okay? You plot a point at -1, okay? And it's going to be greater than, so since K is greater than -1, we're going to point the arrow to the right, okay? And since it says equal to also, we're going to fill it in, okay? Watch me do number 2. Number 2 is a little bit harder. Watch carefully. On number 2, it says -2 and 1/2 is greater than x, okay? So automatically we're in the wrong order. We want to switch sides on our inequality. See how it says -2 and 1/2 first and x is in the back? So we want x to be in the front, okay? So we're going to put x in the front. So we're going to put x in the front and -2 and 1/2 in the behind it. So it's going to be -2 and 1/2. And since we're switching sides, look at my sign in the middle carefully. All eyes up here. You need to see this. After I flipped it, pretend like you're looking at it in a mirror. Instead of putting this sign here, we're going to switch it and put less than here. Okay? It's still a true statement. So x is less than 2 and 1/2, so I go to -2 and 1/2. I know it's between -2 and -2 and 1/2, and we said it's less than, so it's going to the left. And I don't fill it in because there's no equal sign. That's it. Any questions on 1 or 2? If the letter's not first. Yep. There's another time we're going to flip too, or flip the sign, but we'll talk about that later. Okay? So I want you to, before you write this down, 1 cell 2 is about number 1, 2 cell 1 is about number 2. Ready, set, go. So writing this down, a couple good comments, questions. One of them was, why do you have to write it with x first? It's because you're going to have to write your answers with x is equal to, x is greater than, x is less than. Okay? The other thing is that these are such simple graphing like skills. You want to get this down correctly, okay? So don't like just assume to do it correctly the first time. Make sure you got it down because these are easy points, and it's really a simple skill. So want to make sure you get this done right. All right, so hopefully you wrote this down. I'm going to move on. Continuing here we go. Number 3. Okay, on your whiteboards now. A is greater than -2. What would be the first step here? Where would I go to? Actually, is the letter first? Is my letter first?
Yes.
Yep. So what number do I want to go to and circle? Which one? -2. Okay, so you go to -2, draw a circle. Which way is my arrow going to point? To the left or to the right of the circle? What does it say? A is less than or greater than? Greater than, right? So we want it to point to the right. And do we fill it in? Yes or no? Do we fill this guy in? Yep, because it says equal to. I want you to copy mine, okay? So it's the first one. We did this one together, but I want to make sure you copied so I know you did it correctly. Ready, set, go. So we're going to x is greater than 3. We're drawing a circle. Is the letter first? Did the letter come first on this example? Yep, it did. So we're going to draw this circle at 3. Okay. Which way does the arrow point? To the left or right? It's in the right order, so you just point the arrow to the right because it's greater than. And since this has equal sign, also we're going to fill in our circle, okay? Okay, continuing on, number 4. Or 5, I'm sorry. Who taught me how to count, right? Here we go, number 5. Is it going? Yeah. Okay, this one's a little harder, right? Because it has a decimal point, okay? So -1.8 is between what two numbers? -1 and 2, right? Not +1 and 2, but -1 and 2. Okay, go. Okay, so in this one, it's between -1 and 2, like you said. So, is it closer to -1 or -2? Good. So good. You want to have the circle closer to -2. I'm even gonna draw even closer there, and it's pointing to the left, right? And then we're gonna fill it in. Okay. Now, last one. What do you notice about this one that we need to change first? Okay, let's flip it, okay? So this should really be -m is less than 2.5. What's wrong with this negative sign? Do we like the negative sign? No. So whenever you have a negative in front of a letter, all you do is to get rid of it is just, we have to divide both sides by -1. And this is something we're going to look at more tomorrow. But this is for tonight. Divide both sides by -1, making this m and this -2.5. And then all you have to do is flip the sign. So it's going to be greater than on this one. Okay, so that is the number we're going to graph. So graph the number. And then I want you to write this one down, the steps on this one, because this one is going to be on your homework, but I want to make sure you are ready for it. So graph it. I'll come around in 20 seconds to check your work. Go. -2.5 is between -2 and -3, right in the middle. So we draw a circle right in the middle. And it's pointing to the right because it's greater than. And do we fill in the circle? Nope. That's it. All right. So that concludes this lesson. So what